Good morning. Today we are starting with the block 1 Understanding Sociology, Unit 1 Nature and Scope of Sociology. So, here we will see the what is sociology, main concern of sociology, and some founding fathers and sociology and other social sciences. And that and at the end of this unit we will see the summarization of this unit. So coming to the introduction part, sociology as compared to other social sciences like economics and political science is a young discipline. One could say it is about 150 years old, but there has been a more rapid development of the subject in the last 50 to 60 years. This is partly due to desire, particularly after the Second World War, to understand more about the behavior of people in social situations. All social science subjects are concerned with the behavior of people, but each of them studies different aspects. Sociology, however, is concerned with social relation in general and with social group and institution in particular. So what is sociology? Sociology can be defined as a study of society or social life, of group interaction and of social behavior. Concept of society and culture. Society has been defined as a relatively self-sufficient, usually large group of people who maintain direct and indirect contact with each other through a culture. Culture is generally understood as a shared language, belief, goals, artifacts, and experiences that combine together to form a unique pattern. In other words, culture is a society way of life. Emergence of sociology during the 19th century, sociology emerged as a separate social science in Europe, and its objective was the study of society. Auguste Comte, Spencer, and Emile Durkheim, besides several other social thinkers, sought to establish the idea of society as a matter of study unique in itself. They examined society as a whole, which is more than the sum of its parts. Society is more than the actions, thought, values, belief, and wishes of its individual members. It is a complex and abstract reality, yet all human beings live in a society. A sociologist is interested in the general study of social behavior as it occurs in group, large or small, and lays specific special stress on understanding social life in the contemporary world. The word general has been used as other social science disciplines deal with more specific areas. For example, a political scientist studies governmental function and activities, and economist studies production and distribution of goods. It is, however, difficult to draw an exact line of difference. Social psychology, social anthropology, political science, and economics all, in a sense, have human social life as their general subject. As sociology is a relatively young discipline compared with the discipline of philosophy, economics, and political science, sometimes people confuse it with the social work. Sociology is used in the discipline of social work to analyze and understand social problems. Social work is concerned with the uplift of those socially deprived, physically handicapped, etc. Sociology is not concerned with the reformation of society as such, nor is it directly involved in social planning or directed changes. The sociological understanding and research can help in better planning and finding ways and means of acceptance of improved practices in the formulation of development policies and programs. It is generally accepted that sociologists do not interfere with the social process. They are supposed to be value neutral. They are not supposed to have any bias or prejudice in the analysis of the social behavior. There are, however, at present, some who question this and feel that sociologists must take an active role in the development process. We have defined sociology as the study of social life and group interaction and social behavior. In order to understand social life, sociology is interested in the study of organization and the functioning of societies or social group. Just as every human being is born in a society, Everywhere social life is lived in groups, whether large or small. The term group is used in different ways. There might be a group which is watching a game in progress. There might be a group of people crossing a street. In sociology, the group is viewed in a different way. It has already been mentioned that the basic interest of sociology is human social behavior. This leads to a study of how people relate to each other or interact with each other. The social group therefore would have to have the following: a group of person, two or more, a pattern interaction. There is a regularity in the social relation based on a shared belief, values, and norm, and the interaction is sustained over a period of time. The groups are formed in order to satisfy subhuman needs. A basic need is survival, and a family, which is an example of group, enables us to meet this need. As individual, it is not possible to fulfill all the needs. It is through the groups that the needs are met. We derive many satisfactions from living in groups, and therefore being a part of the group becomes important. The solidarity of a group is dependent upon the frequency of interaction and the emotional attachment. And there is one German sociologist, they have given the concept Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. Ferdinand Tönnies, a noted German sociologist, while examining different kind of societies, found that there were two kind of social group, similar to the concept of primary and secondary group found in all societies. He found that in small homogeneous societies, members interacted with each one another on face-to-face informal basis. In these groups, tradition dictated social behavior. Tony's called this kind of society a Gemeinschaft, which when translated means broadly a communal or traditional society. In comparison, societies that are large and heterogeneous, such as the modern industrial societies, relationship among members are impersonal, formal, functional, and specialized. According to Tony's, these societies have often contractual relationships which are on the basis of clear-cut legal contracts rather than being governed by traditions. Tony's calls these societies Gesellschaft or associational societies. Kind of social group: the classification of social group in two major types is based on the extent of attachment the individual would have to a group. The major classification are primary and secondary group. A primary group has been defined as one in which members have very close or intimate relations and there is an emotional involvement. It has also been defined as primary because it is this group which is briefly responsible for nurture of social ideas of the individual. From the description above, we can go on to a more precise definition. Personality of an individual is involved in a primary group. The best example of primary group is the family. As one tries to analyze one's behavior within the family and the function the family perform for each individual member, one can understand the importance of primary group in shaping the ideas, belief, and norms of the member. The primary group, family, playgroup, or a community, etc., also act as a link between the individual and a larger society. In contrast to the primary group, they are a secondary group. In the secondary group, members interacted with one another in a very specific range of activities. The relationship in the secondary group are more casual, impersonal, and for a specific purpose. A student body of a large college is a secondary group as they interact at students. People working in a factory are also an example of a secondary group as they relate to each other as worker. You can see yourself how the relationship between the family and in a workplace differ. From that you will be able to understand the difference between primary and the secondary groups. The understanding of the nature of the group and their functions is very important for understanding social behavior. So let's do the exercise together. So the question is, give a definition of sociology, write about 5 lines. In broad term, we can define sociology can be defined as the study of social life, group interaction, and social behavior, while other social science study specialized area of social behavior. Sociology is interested in taking an overall view of social life. Then Let's try to do the second question. What is social group? Use about 5 lines for your answer. A social group refers to a group of person, it may be two or more, who have a regular social interaction based on shared belief, values, and norms. The interaction takes place on a basis over a period of time. The interacting person view themselves as member of the group. Example of a group are the nuclear family, a football team. Now try to do the third question. Given below are some social situation, which among them can be called as primary group? Tick the correct answer. So there are 4 situations are given. One is meeting of political leader during a meeting. It is not a primary group. Children playing kho in a field. Yeah, this one is a primary group. A feminist leader addressing women level. This is also not primary group. And fourth one is school principal addressing a student in an assembly. This is also not a primary group. So major concern of sociology. Next topic is major concern of sociology. Sociology seeks to study the society and to analyze it in term of the social relation that have a pattern. Sociology addresses itself to 3 basic questions: how and why society emerges, how and why society persists, and how and why society change. Sociology has been concerned with the evolution of society. It has tried to analyze the factors and forces underlying the historical transformation of society. For example, societies have evolved from primitive tribal state to rural communities, how villages have become more important center of commercial activity or of art and culture and grown into towns and cities. Sociology has also been concerned with the units of social life. The attempt has been to look at various types of groups, communities, associations, and society. The effort has been to study the pattern of social relationship in these units. An important area which sociology deals with is social institution. The institution provide a structure for the society and perform function which enable the society to meet its need. In any society, there are 5 basic social institutions: family, political institution, economic institutions, religious institutions, and educational institution. However, in more complex societies, there may be many other institutions such as bureaucracy, military organization, welfare, and recreational organization, etc. Caste is also an institution which is more or less peculiar to India. Another area of study and analysis by sociologists is social processes. In one sense, the social institution provide the stability and order, where social processes are the dynamic aspect of social relations. Among the various processes that will be dealt with in the latter unit are socialization, social control, cooperation, conflict, social deviation, and social change. Next topic is concept of culture. Culture is another very important concept. As mentioned earlier, we are immersed in culture from birth onwards. We take culture for granted. It is difficult to imagine what life would be like without culture. Culture provides summing up of the past experiences, which are the necessary foundation for living in the present. Culture is learned and shared among members of the group. Culture, in a sense, can seem to be chief means of survival and adaptation. On each of the topics mentioned, which are concerned of sociology, there will be units which will deal in much greater detail. The society is dynamic and is changing. Consequently, the areas of interest of sociologists are increasing. Today, there is sociology of knowledge, sociology of science and art, sociology of health, sociology of development, etc. This indicates the expanding nature of sociology. Next topic is sociology and science. At times, sociology has been defined as the science of society. This raises the question as to what science is. Some have thought of science as an approach, whereas others have thought about it in terms of the subject matter. Simply stated, we might say that the scientific approach consists of certain assumptions that the phenomena studied have a regularity and hence a pattern. The method emphasizes observation and verification of social phenomena. This involves a systematic approach to the study of phenomena. The systematic approach consists of defining a problem for study, collecting data on the problem defined, analyzing and organizing the data, which would help in formulation of hypothesis and further testing of the hypothesis, and on the basis of this develop new concept and theories. Sociology has been using a systematic approach in the study of social life. On the basis of knowledge gathered through the systematic approach, it has tried to build a body of reliable knowledge. From this knowledge, it has tried to establish the patterns of relationship from which effort can be made at understanding social behavior. If we look at sociology from the point of view of its approach to the study of society, then sociology can be considered to be a science. Now let's try to do the exercise. Question number 1, write a note in 8 lines on the basic concern of sociology. So, sociology is basically concerned with the study of pattern in social relation. Once relations between people are familiar and well established, they become institutionalized base of social behavior. Then it is sociology concerned to make comparative studies of social institutions such as the family, economy, and polity. Sociology is also concerned with the study of social processes which reflect the dynamic aspect of social relation. Now try to do the second question. Explain the relationship between sociology and science. Write about 5 lines. So, being the scientific study of society, sociology views science as an approach to study social phenomena. In science, patterns in natural phenomena are discovered by observation and verification. In sociology, social phenomena are observed to formulate and test hypotheses. Then the next topic is some founding fathers. Later on in various unit of this course, you will come across the names of many early sociologists. A brief introduction is given of early sociologists whose contribution to sociology is lasting. All of them wrote on the nature of human behavior. In a way, they tried to understand profound changes taking place in society. So the sociologist is Auguste Comte. Comte is regarded as the father of modern sociology. He is the first one to have used the word sociology. He tried to create a new science of society which could not only explain the past of mankind but also predict its future course. He felt that society moves through definite and fixed stages and that it progresses toward ever increasing perfection. The 3 stages, according to him, in which the society moves were the theological or the religious, to the metaphysical or the philosophical, to the third one, the positive or the scientific stage. In the first stage, people thought all phenomena were caused by supernatural forces. Abstract forces of either a religious or secular type were considered to be the source of knowledge. In the second stage, in the last stage, scientific laws were supposed to determine both the natural and the social world. He also talked about 2 broad areas: social statistics, which deals with the orderly and stable aspect of social life and pattern of behavior, family, occupational, polity, etc. The second area, called social dynamics, emphasizes the study of changes in a social system. According to him, sociology was to be the queen of all sciences. The next sociologist is Emile Durkheim. Durkheim was also interested in sociology, being a scientific discipline. He wrote a book in 1895 entitled Rules of Sociological Method. To him, social solidarity was one of the main principles of human life. He distinguished between 2 kinds of solidarity: mechanical solidarity, based on common assumptions, beliefs, sentiments like those found in traditional societies, and organic solidarity based on the division of labor and interrelated interests as found in industrial societies. When solidarity is broken, there would be social disorganization and confusion in society. He considered sociology as having wide interests, which include sociology of religion, sociology of knowledge, sociology of law, sociology of crime, economic sociology, and economic sociology of education, art, and aesthetics. An important concept given by Durkheim was social fact, which, according to him, are external to the individual, but they exert pressure on the individual in the behavior pattern. Customs, traditions, folkways, and mores are social fact. He felt the sociology should be involved in the reformation of society. For him, society was a reality in itself, that is, it is more than its part. Next sociologist is Max Weber. Weber used the concept of social action rather than social relation. A comprehensive study of social action to him meant understanding the meanings human beings give to their behavioral pattern. The social behavior was not merely a mechanical learning of norm, but how people interpreted the social value. Sociology studies all kind of social action without making any value judgment. Weber also was concerned with understanding of interrelations between part of society and also with comparative studies of different societies. He studied religion in different societies. His work on Protestant ethics and the spirit of capitalism is one of the well-known work in sociology. Through both these approaches, he tried to develop propositions having general validity. For example, he classified authority into three types: charismatic, traditional, and rational. These concepts are still used in the study of leadership, authority, and power. Next sociologist is Karl Marx. Marx has helped through his ideas in understanding the nature of society, particularly how conflict occur. Marx writes in 1848 that all history is a history of classes and class struggle. The society gets divided between the oppressor and the oppressed, masters and slaves, lords and serfs, and in modern times, capitalists and workers. To analyze the structure of society, it was necessary to understand the forces of production and relations of production. The contradiction between the forces and the relations of production leads to class struggle. According to him, each society dies in time because of internal conflict and contradictions and is replaced by a higher one. In time, capitalism would be destroyed and there would emerge a classless society characterized by absence of conflict, exploitation, and alienation from this world. Next sociologist is Herbert Spencer. Spencer also emphasized a total view of society. According to him, the study of sociology covers the field of family, politics, religion, and social control, division of labor, and social stratification. He emphasized the study of whole more than the study of parts. The individual institution have significant relations. It is through a study of these interrelations that one can hope to understand society. He indicated that the interdependence of the various parts were functional. Each of the parts performed different functions, which is necessary for the total well-being of society. A large number of sociologists who are functionalists use Spencer's idea of the functional interdependence as a basis for their approach to the study of society. Above description of the contribution of founding fathers of sociology are sketchy. The main purpose is to introduce their names and to give you some idea of their concern in sociology. In the later unit of elective course 13 on sociological thought, we will be studying their approaches, theories, and contribution in greater detail. Next topic is sociology and other social sciences. As mentioned earlier, sociology has a broad perspective. It is concerned with those aspects of social life which are present in all forms. It embraces every social setting. Most related social sciences have a restricted range of specializations. It must be pointed out that human behavior cannot be divided neatly into different compartments and each assigned to a specific social science. Hence, the boundaries between the disciplines are often overlapping. Almost all the social sciences get outside their own and into somebody else's domain with great frequency. Social psychology and sociology. Social psychology is the study of social and cultural influences on the individual. It focuses on the behavior of a single person and hence differs from sociology, which is more concerned with the relation among group. However, there are areas of common interest such as socialization, norms, and values. Moreover, the influences of the group on the individual and of the individual on the group are also of interest to both social psychology and sociology. Sociology and anthropology. There are many fields in anthropology, namely archaeology, linguistics, physical anthropology, and social anthropology. Although anthropology has been regarded as the study of early primitive cultures and sociology of the more contemporary society. This distinction is no longer valid. Many of the early village studies in India have been done by social anthropologists. The tribal communities in India have by and large been studied by anthropologists. In both their physical and social aspects, there is hence some overlap between the areas of study of sociology and anthropology, particularly social anthropology. Culture and social organizations are concepts studied in both these disciplines. Sociology and economics. Sociology and economics both study industry but do so differently. Economics would study economic factor of industry, productivity, labor, industrial policy, marketing, etc. Whereas a sociologist would study the impact of industrialization on society, economists study economic institutions such as factories, banks, trade, and transportation, but are not concerned with religion, family, or politics. Sociology is interested in interaction between economic institutions and other institutions in society, namely political and religious. Social life in modern times is very complex, and no discipline by itself can study all of it in depth. While each social discipline focuses on a particular aspect of the society, there is need to keep in mind the interrelations of institution of society. Only some social science have been discussed so as to give a feel of relationship among social sciences. Similar analysis of the relation of sociology can be made to philosophy, history, public administration, etc. Basic and applied sociology. Sociologists are interested in conducting research studies in the area of social life and developing theories with regard to human social behavior. The purpose is to build a body of reliable knowledge through which various aspects of social life can be understood and explained. While this is important, it is necessary to make use of this knowledge in various aspects of the human affairs. There are many factors which have an impact on social relations. Increased use of technology is one such area. Sociologists could anticipate as to how people will receive and react to new technology and changes it might bring about in social relation. There are many programs of development that are launched. Sociologists can indicate what care needs to be taken in introducing changes without affecting their way of life so that suggested program can be accepted. The reactions towards the innovations, acceptance, resistance, or non acceptance should be noted when studies could also provide further insight into social values and social behavior. Sociology thus provide an understanding about the social order in which we live and about the forces that shape and mold it. It also suggests path of action to ensure the emergence of new social pattern. Imaginatively pursued, the study of sociology enables us to understand the condition and the predicament of human being. It can also help in finding solution for the present problem and dilemmas of society. So let's do the exercise now. What is the difference between basic and applied sociology? Write about 10 lines for your answer. Sociology is engaged in giving explanation of human social behavior. For making use of this knowledge of human affairs, sociological finding can be and are used in planning and development program. This kind of use of sociology is given the name of applied sociology. It is obvious that basic sociology is confined to researches into human social behavior. Applied sociology differs from basic sociology in the sense that it only makes use of sociological finding in planning and implementing action oriented programs for development. Let us summarize of this unit. In this unit, we have given you a definition of sociology. We have also explained the idea of social group. We have explained basic areas of concern for sociology. These include the mention of the concept of culture. It also includes the relationship of sociology with science as whole. This unit also provides thumbnail sketches of five founding fathers of sociology. The theories of these thinkers continue to influence present day sociology and other social sciences as well. Finally, we looked at sociology in its relation to psychology and economics and so on. We have therefore provided a good idea about the nature and scope of sociology. And keyword, we will see the keyword in this unit. Classification, a way of putting data or information into different categories and group. Culture, this embodies the customs, rights, and belief of a group of people. It includes both material cultures such as houses, pots, coins, etc. as well, and non-material culture such as values, belief, norms, etc. Group comprises two or more people who have a meaningful interaction with each other and common goals. Primary goal group, a social group with close ties and shared interests. Example, the family. Secondary group, a large group with looser ties but common well-defined goals. Example, office employees, member of club or association. That's all for today. Thank you so much, guys.